What's going on, guys? Welcome here to another tutorial for Laravel. Now in this tutorial we are now going to be getting a little bit more advanced in Laravel. At least at this point we now know how to manipulate Laravel data using the CRUD system, the create, update, read, and this time we are going to be doing something a little bit different. Now what we are going to be dealing with is we're making use of a new system for Laravel called Laravel Breeze. Now this Laravel Breeze statement is, or not just a statement, but concept is used whenever you're creating systems that require a login, a sign up, and an authentication. So as always, we're going to go back into our folder. We are creating a new Laravel project. So as our command, which is composer create a project for Laravel, and this Laravel project, let's call it login reg. Yeah. Now certain parts of this video I'm going to fast forward them as I will be busy installing certain packages, because certain packages might take a little bit more time. Now this is going to be also based on your internet access or your internet speed. If your speed is quite fast, then these things will not take you a lot of time, but if your speed is a little bit slow, just make sure that you've got a stable internet access, because all of these dependencies, they literally rely on your system. So as you can see, our project has been created, which is awesome. It's got our tables and so forth and so forth. So now we can close this CMD. So this being our project, this is where we are going to be working from. Now currently, for us to see our project, we would say CMD PHP artisan serve. Now automatically we can grab our server is now running, so let's take a look at it. And as you can see, this is our whole page, which is awesome. Now exactly what is Breeze? Breeze is a system that is used whenever you're creating more of a dashboard system. Now instead of us having to say, oh, we're going to create a page that is going to be doing login, a page that is going to be doing registration, Laravel automatically comes pre-collected with some certain packages that are used for all of this. So I'm just going to close off all of these tabs, and then I'm going to add a new project folder, which is the one that we just created, login reg. And on this login reg, these are currently our files. Now we don't have anything as of yet, so there's no need for us to open anything. But what is then our first thing that we're going to be doing? Our first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be going back into the folder for Laravel, which is where our files are located, and we're going to run another CMD. Now within this CMD, the first thing that we're going to say is we're going to say composer do something that you call require, and exactly what it's requiring, it is going to require Laravel to have something that is known as what? As Breeze, and we're going to use it for what? For development. So this nice command, copy it. I'm just going to also copy it onto my notepad for evidence purposes. Composer require Laravel Breeze for dev, and then we can come and run our command. Now remember what I said, this process is going to be based on your network speed. If your speed is quite fast, then this is not going to take a lot of time, but if your speed is slow, it is going to take a lot of time. And as you can see, it is already installed. It has found packages that it is going to install for Laravel Breeze, Pale, Tinker, Carbon, Collision, and so forth. Now after we are done requiring this Breeze to be added onto our project, what then are we going to have? We are now going to require this Breeze to be installed. So we are going to say PHP, or let me just write a command from here and then paste it. So we're going to say php artisan breeze. So php artisan breeze, then do what you call a what, and install. So just copy this whole command back onto the cmd which we are currently using, and the first thing that it is going to do is it is going to ask you a few questions as to which package is it going to install for. Is it going to install the blade? Is it going to install the livewire, the free react, or whatnot? We want it to install for what? For blade. Do you want dark mode support? Now we don't need the dark mode support for now. And which unit are we using? Currently we are using XAMPP, so we're going to be using PHP unit, which is number 1. Now it is going to start installing all these dependencies that are also what? That are also required. So remember, my purpose of fast forwarding is based on number 1, how long my internet access or my internet speed takes to install the breeze, and which breeze dependencies is it also installing. So let's give it a few more seconds, or let me say some time as it installs, and then we take it from there. So as you can see, it's installed and everything is, it's now even telling you breeze scaffolding has been successfully what? Installed. So after breeze has been installed, we also need to add more packages. For example, we've got what you call an npm install, and it's done installing the npm, and then we run the npm build. So npm run the build that was what? That was installed. Now that it's done running the build that was installed, I now want us to come back to our page. If we refresh our page, you will see that our page now has a login page that we have, and you also see that our page has a registration that we have. But these need to be linked to a specified database for such and such. So how do we go about it? So first things first is we're not going to close anything. We are just going to come and open our text editor, and inside our text editor we're going to go to our env file, and then we specify a few key things. Number 1, our database is not going to be an SQLite, but it's just going to be what? MySQL, and it is going to use this host number, this port address, and database name, and username and password. So for the name of the database, I'm just going to call it login reg, just like the name that we used when we created the project. Now this database doesn't exist yet, so it means that we now need to make sure that this database is in existence. So for us to do that, we come to our XAMPP control panel for my PHP admin, then we create the database with the name that we mentioned inside our files. So over here, login reg, we create the database that's empty. So mean that when this file is going to be used, it is going to access this database. Now over here we save, and now what's going to happen is we are going to utilize the table that we pre-created with Laravel. Remember, after installing Laravel and everything that we installed, Laravel automatically comes with some tables that it has inside it. So if we come to file, and then we come to databases, migrations, you'll see that there are 3 tables that are already there, which is the users, the catch, and the jobs. So Breeze automatically uses these tables. Yes, we can add other tables and so forth, but for now we're just going to use the default items. So after doing this, all we have to do is run a PHP artisan migrate statement. Now this is going to transfer all these tables into the database that we just created, which is this one. If I refresh, as you can see, our tables are here for catch, which is empty, for jobs, which is empty, and for users, which is also empty, and so forth. So back onto our Laravel project. On this time we can log in, but remember, if you are logging in, say we're going to use this email address, and then we're going to use this password, and then we say log in. The credentials don't what? They do not match. So obviously it means that before one logs in, they have to first create an account. So I'll create an account, my password, no, let me choose my own password. I'll just use Craig at 123 with a capital C, Craig at 123 with a capital C. Now you can further customize that it can show you the password and so forth, but for now all we just want is for it to work. So as you can see, alright, there we have our dashboard, which tells us that we are logged in with our username, our logout. It can even tell you that we've got a profile, which is this name and a password. We can change our password, we can delete our account, we can come to our dashboard, which currently has nothing. Now mean that we can now log out and we can log in as well with this username, password, voila. Now the username and detail that we used, they can now be seen inside our database for users, which is this one. As you can see, Craig, our email address, we didn't verify our email address, which is what we're going to do a little bit later on, and the password has been hashed, or it has been encrypted as well, so hence why we cannot see the password. But just in general, this is just basically how Breeze and how Laravel with Breeze works. Thank you so much for this tutorial. Let's meet again as we understand how to add authentication and so forth when you're using Laravel Breeze.